Hi, I'm Nash. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today we have a truly remarkable person with us, Kelly, who's going to share a story that really highlights how quickly life can change and, more importantly, the incredible strength we can find within ourselves and through others when things get tough. Kelly, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Nash. It's a story I never thought I'd be telling, honestly, but here we are.
You know, when we spoke earlier, you mentioned that it was just a completely ordinary day. Can you take us back to that day? What happened?
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it was just a quiet afternoon, having rained for days. First time I went out of the house, the kind where you don't expect anything out of the ordinary. I just needed to step outside for a minute, just to grab the water jug to take it to the filling station. Nothing major, just a routine chore. But the cement, it was wet, really slick from the rain the night before. I didn't even think about it, just barefoot stepping out.
And then,
One step, that's all it took. My foot just slipped out from under me. My body twisted in a way it definitely wasn't meant to, and I just went down hard. The sound, Nash, I'll never forget it. This sharp, sickening crack. It echoed almost, and then the pain hit like nothing I've ever felt.
oh, Kelly, that sounds absolutely terrifying. Were you alone?
Well, not completely. My partner Lisa was inside, come running, thankfully. The old man next door, he heard it. He heard the sound. He must have heard me too. He rushed over, calling my name, and I just remember trying to speak, trying to tell him what happened, but all I could get out was, "Help, I can't move." It was a fire deep in my hip and leg, just searing pain.
So help was there quickly, but I imagine getting emergency services to you wasn't as straightforward as it might be back home in Australia.
You got that right. It was 2 long hours before the ambulance came. Biggest problem, 911, 30 minutes. Cell phones, they're not know who numbers to ring. Rung other Filipino asking help. Then it come. And it wasn't the kind you see on TV. No, sleek and well equipped. It was just a small, open utility vehicle, rough and noisy. Every single bump on that road, every little jolt, it felt like knives driving into bone. I was just drenched in sweat, shaking from the pain by the time we reached the hospital. It was an ordeal just getting there.
That's an incredibly vivid and painful image, and once you finally got to the hospital, what was the diagnosis?
They told me my hip was completely cracked and many small cracks, and that I'd need a steel plate strong enough to hold the bone together. And that's when reality really hit. The doctor was explaining it, and then he mentioned the cost, and this did not happen at all. And in this place, Nash, money decides everything. It decides how soon you heal or how long you suffer. It's just a different world.
That must have been a devastating realization on top of the physical pain. What followed in those initial days?
Devastating is an understatement. The next few days were just a blur of pain. They gave me medicine, but it barely touched it. For 2 nights straight, I couldn't sleep at all. Every movement felt like my hip was on fire. I just lay there thinking of home, of peace, of just being able to sit up, to walk again. Simple things we take for granted. But here, you can't rely on nurses or care teams the way you would back home. You rely on family. It's completely different.
And you're far from home, so your family's support system is limited. Who has been your rock through all of this?
My Lisa, she's been everything. Honestly, I don't know what I would have done without her. Round the clock change, nappy wash, etc. My sister gave me what she could, $2,000. Just cover the basics, the plate, the initial medicine, those hospital fees. I had a bit saved, maybe $500, but it just vanished in 5 days. Swallowed up by painkillers, bandages, and all the endless unexpected costs that just keep piling up after an injury like this. It's like a black hole for money.
That's an incredible amount of pressure on top of everything. It's hard for us to imagine what that's like coming from a country with universal health care.
It really is. Back home in Australia, care like this, it would be so different. You'd have steady hands cleaning your wounds every few hours, round-the-clock nurses, proper aftercare. Here, you depend on faith and pure grit and your loved ones. There's no one else. My young partner, Lisa, she's doing everything. Changing my dressings, fetching the medicine, helping me move. I've been so weak, Nash, I can barely eat an egg without resting halfway through. It's humbling, to say the least.
Harrowing, actually. It sounds like you're completely dependent, which must be a huge mental and emotional toll, especially for someone who I know is usually so active and independent.
It is. It truly is. When night falls, that's when I really feel it. I pray. I just pray. I think about how fragile we really are, how one small innocent step can just change a life forever. It's a heavy thought. But I also think about grace. I honestly believe God meets us in the middle of the hardest moments, even when everything hurts, even when you feel completely lost.
That faith must be a powerful anchor for you right now.
It's everything. This accident didn't just break my hip, Nash. It broke all the plans I had. The work I was doing, the projects I was building for my writing and my ministry, all of that just stopped. But I've always believed that pain can become a story. And that story, if you let it, can become hope. You have to find that silver lining, even when it feels impossible.
And that belief led you to start a GoFundMe campaign, not out of pity, but from a place of hope and community.
Exactly. That's why I started it. Not because I want pity, absolutely not. But because I believe in people. I really do. I believe in kindness, in faith, in the power of strangers to lift one another when life just knocks us flat. Every little bit, seriously. Every single dollar given helps me pay for that surgery, for the steel plate, for the medicine, and just for a chance to walk again, to stand tall again.
And I know you have a very strong commitment to paying it forward.
Oh, absolutely. I made a promise. Any extra that comes in, it won't be wasted. I'll make sure it's paid forward directly, not to some system or a bunch of middlemen, but directly to people in real need. That's how I live. That's how I'll keep living, by God's grace. It's what drives me.
That's a beautiful commitment, Kelly, and I'm sure that generosity of spirit is part of why you're receiving so much support already.
It's been incredible, honestly. I think of my sister, She's tired, I can see it, but she's still smiling as she brings me water and helps me shift in bed. And the people who've sent messages or prayers from far away, from Australia, from all over the world, it's overwhelming in the best possible way. It reminds you that you're not alone.
What does that first step, literally that first pain-free step, look like in your mind?
Oh man, I think of the day I'll take that first step again, stand tall and walk without pain, just to walk. It's a powerful image for me. Until then, I'm just holding on to faith, faith that healing is coming, that help will arrive, and that somehow even this broken chapter will lead to something good, something truly meaningful.
That's incredibly inspiring, Kelly. It's easy to get caught up in the despair of such a situation, but you're really focusing on the light.
You have to, don't you? Because miracles, they don't always happen in flashes of light or dramatic moments. Sometimes they happen through the quiet kindness in the hearts of people who care enough to help, through a message, a prayer, a small donation. That's where the real magic happens, I think.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Kelly. Your story is not just one of hardship, but truly one of incredible resilience and hope. Thank you for sharing such a personal and powerful journey with us today.
Thank you, Nash. It's my story, not of defeat, but of hope, endurance, and the quiet strength that really does come only by God's grace. And I just hope it inspires others to look for that grace in their own lives and to extend it to others. My biggest thanks is to my hun Lisa, around the clock, sick, coughing like me now, thanks to someone in her. No mass coughing. We are both worn right down. Lisa can just walk at times so bad. Love you, hun.
What an incredible message to leave us with. Kelly, thank you again. And to our listeners, if you'd like to support Kelly on her journey, you can find a link to her GoFundMe page in our show notes. Every bit truly does make a difference. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.